Hi, how are you? Today I'm going to show you how to make these little Christmas stockings, or also called Christmas socks. I will suggest that you make a sock with a single color to try out the pattern first, and you can make your own multicolorful little sock afterwards. Let's begin with part 1. First, with the white color, we are going to make a magic ring. For that, we place the yarn on the index finger, like so, and with our thumb we secure the yarn to avoid that it moves. We wrap the yarn around the index finger and the middle finger, like so. Okay, and with our thumb we place it on the cross to avoid that it moves. The ball end of the yarn we are going to place between the ring finger and the little finger, like so. That's the position of the yarn to make the magic ring. We take our hook with our right hand and place underneath the first thread, and with the head of our hook we pull the second thread underneath the first one, like so. We twist the hook in the clockwise direction, as you can see here, yarn over, and then twist the fingers, your left hand, until the fingers point towards you. We pull through the first loop, and now we have ready our magic ring. I prefer to fix the two threads that we have here in the magic ring in the way that they are not crossing. It's just my personal preference, is not necessary. For the first round we chain 1, okay, and we are going for this project to use a stitch marker. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can use like an earring or any other tool that can help you to mark whenever you make a chain. It's not really necessary, but it makes the work very easy. We close it here, so I already marked the chain that we made, and then here in the magic ring we are going to make 10 single crochet in the circle. For that, we introduce the hook in the middle of the circle, then yarn over, come out of the circle, yarn over, and then pull through the 2 loops. Once more here, we introduce the hook in the middle of the circle, yarn over and come out through the circle, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. Now we have here at the moment 2 single crochet. How do you know that you just have 2? Because you can check here. This is one V, one small V, that counts like 1 single crochet, and here we have a second V, this is the second single crochet. We have to continue until we have 10 single crochet in the circle. Okay? As you can see here, I have already the 10 single crochet. we need now to reduce the size of this magic ring. Okay, so in order to close the ring, and to close the first round, we are going to make one slip stitch. To do that, the slip stitch is going to be placed in this first chain that we have marked here. Okay, so the first thing, we'll remove the marker, very simple. And next, we just you introduce the hook in this little loop, then yarn over and pull through the two loops, as you can see here. Okay, then we can pull it a little bit in order to close the circle, and the loose end of the yarn, that in my case is this one, we are going to pull in order to close the center of the circle. Okay, like so. Then, as you can see here, it's closing the inner diameter. Now we have concluded the first round. For the second round, we are going to start with one chain. For this, we yarn over and pull through the first loop, as you can see here. The best thing when we are working in circles is to use our stitch marker and to mark this, the first chain, because this is the one that we are going to use when we are going to close the circle. Okay, so here on this chain that I just made, I'm going to place the stitch marker. Then for the second round, we crochet 2 single crochet in every single crochet of the previous round. This is going to make a total of 20 single crochet. For that, we introduce the hook in the first single crochet of the previous round. Okay, like so. Here you can see that I have the two parts of the B that are formed. Then we yarn over and come out of the two parts, like this. We yarn over and pull through the two loops that we have in our crochet. With this, we have one single crochet for this gap. We need to make another single crochet in the same gap. Again, we introduce the hook in this gap. We yarn over and come out of this. Then yarn over and pull through the two loops. We have to continue with the second. So in this gap that corresponds to a single crochet of the round 1, we have to make 2 single crochet. Again, the first single crochet, we introduce the hook in the gap, we yarn over and come out, then we yarn over and pull through the two loops. This is the first, and then the second one, introduce the hook in the gap, we yarn over and come out, we yarn over and pull through the two. So now we have already 2 single crochets in this gap. Like this, we have to continue until we have a total of 20 single crochet in the round number 2. Here I have already the 20 single crochet of the round number 2. Now to close this round, we remove the stitch marker, and here in this loop we are going to make one slip stitch. For that, we introduce the hook in this loop, we yarn over and pull through the 2 loops that we had in our crochet, like so. Okay, now we have finished with the second round. For the round number 3 to the round number 11, we are going to crochet 20 single crochet, one on each single crochet of the previous round. For starting each round, we have to make one chain, so we yarn over and pull through. With our stitch marker, we are going to mark this chain like so. Just a second. Here, we just put it here as a marker. Okay. And then we start to crochet single crochet. For doing that, we introduce the hook here in the previous single crochet. We take both sides of the B, as you can see here. Okay, then we yarn over and come out. We have 2 loops in the crochet. We yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. Okay, we continue, and for this round, for the number 3, we are going to complete 20 single crochet as I mentioned before. Okay, let's continue. We introduce the hook here, take both sides of the V, we yarn over and come out like so, then we yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. We continue like that. Here we have already 20 single crochet of the round number 3. Then we are going to close the round with a slip stitch. For doing that, we remove the stitch marker and then introduce the hook here where the stitch marker was before. Okay, we yarn over and pull through both loops, exactly like I showed you before. I'm going to continue with the round number 4 and the round number 5 and 6. Okay, I will continue and show you the results in a minute. Here I'm almost done with the round number 4. I'm going to close the round again with a slip stitch. For that, I remove the stitch marker, introduce the hook here in the hole where the stitch marker was before, then yarn over and pull through both loops. With this, I'm done with the round number 4. I'm going to make the round number 5. Again, we make one chain. For that, yarn over and pull through. I place the stitch marker because it's way easier, and continue working with single crochet. Now I'm done with the 20 single crochet of the 5th round. I'm going to close the 5th round with a slip stitch again, as I have done in the previous rounds. For that, I have removed the stitch marker. I introduce the hook, yarn over, come out and draw the 2 loops that I had. This is the 5th round. I'm going to make 1 round more exactly as before. We make 1 chain, then place the stitch marker here. Okay, for me sometimes it's a little bit easy to remove the hook, so I can see better to place the stitch marker, as you can see here. Then I put the hook again and continue making single crochet. Again, for this 6th round I'm going to make 20 single crochet. Here, as you can see, I'm almost done with this round. It's the 6th round, and so I'm going to close this round with a slip stitch. In this case, I'm going to make from the 7th to the 11th round in red color, so I'm going to change the color here. For doing that, I take the new color, in my case is red, and I introduce the hook here where the stitch marker was before. Okay, and with the new color I'm going to pull through the 2 loops, as you can see here. Okay, for the moment you just leave it like this. It looks a little bit loose, but that's going to change soon. Next, we are going to continue with the 7th round. It's exactly like before. First we start with 1 chain and then 20 single crochet. So we make 1 chain here. Okay, place again our stitch marker in the chain. That's going to make our life way easier when we close the round. And here we continue with the single crochet. We yarn over and come out of the little V, then we yarn over and pull through. We continue like that until we complete the round. We have to make a total of 20 single crochet. That's the 2nd, and we have to continue like that. Okay. Now I have already the 20 single crochet here. I have to close the round, but first I'm going to fix the beginning. So first we remove the stitch marker, and here we have the white yarns that we had before. Okay, so this is the initial one. We don't need one. This is the one that is still connected to the ball yarn. We are going to cut it off. Okay, and then I'm going to pull this, and you are going to see how the size of this big chain is going to get reduced. Okay, like so. This is total, it should be like that, and then you just do exactly the same with the beginning of this red. You just pull it a little bit in order to close this circle, as you can see here. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to close this round by making a slip stitch here where the stitch marker was before. So we simply introduce the hook here, we yarn over and pull through both, and with this we have closed our 7th round. Okay, now we are going to continue with the 8th round. For this we make one chain like so, then we place the stitch marker here and we are going to make 20 single crochet. For this, again, we pass the hook through the 2 legs of this V, then we yarn over and come out, again yarn over and pull through the 2. Like this we are going to continue in this 8th round. So here we have to make again 20 single crochet. To close this round we are going to make 1 single crochet. Remove the stitch marker, introduce the hook in this little gap, then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops that we had in our crochet, like so. This is the 8th round. We are going to continue like that until the 11th round. Okay, I'm going to continue and show you the results. Here I'm about to finish the round number 11, and to close the round again we have to make 1 slip stitch. I'm going to change color here, so for this reason I introduce the hook in this gap where the stitch marker was before, and then take the white yarn and pull through both loops like so. Okay, we just did with that the part number 1. Now we are going to continue with the second part. For the round 12 we are going to make 10 single crochet. In this case I'm going to use the white color. So with the white color you are going to crochet only half of the stitches of the round 11, so that makes 10 single crochet, and you are going to continue making rows of 10 single crochet until the round number 17 as follows. So we are going this, now we have changed already the color, so then we take the ball end of the yarn, as you can see here is in my case, let me just separate both. Okay, in my case is this one is the ball end, and here I'm going to continue making 10 single crochet as I mentioned before. For that we make 1 chain. In this case we do not need to introduce the stitch marker because we are not going to crochet in circles. And we are going to make 10 single crochet. So let's start with the first one. We introduce the hook here, take the two parts of the bee, then we yarn over and come out like so. We yarn over and pull through like this. We are going to continue 10 single crochet. That's going to be the half of the whole round. Okay, let's continue. That was 1, then to move to the next round, to the next row, we make 1 stitch and then we twist our crochet like this and continue here. Okay, that's going to be the first single crochet. Here we have to make, and like this we continue. Here we introduce the hook, we yarn over and come out, then pull through the 2. Again we introduce here, we yarn over and come out, we yarn over and pull through. Like this we need to make 10 more. In this case we are working the row number 13. We have to continue in the same way until we have the row number 17. Now I'm done with the row 17, and for finishing this we are going to cut off the yarn, and we leave approximately 10 to 15 centimeters, okay, like so. And I'm going to just pull, as you can see here, the yarn to close this part. We are going to take 1 needle for yarn like this one, and we are going to close the right side, so this part, to form the little booty. Okay, so for doing that we just insert the yarn here in our needle. Okay, and now I'm going to close it. For this I'm going to turn our work on the back side, and then I'm going to join just the ends like so. Here I take the tool and put it in the next stitch here, as you can see here. Okay, then we just continue closing. So here we take the two and we pass to the other side. Like this I have closed then I secure what I'm closing here, like this. I just secure this here. Okay, and then I hide the remaining thread as we have done previously in other work. Then we just cut off the yarn. Then we can see here that the back part of our boot is ready. Okay. Meantime, and before continue here, we are going to already cut and remove these yarns that we have. Okay, before that we continue. For that, we just cut all the yarns that we have here, and we are going, every time that we have changed color, like for instance here in this point, we are just going to pull our yarns a little bit, and then to secure it we are going to make a little knot. Okay, and like this we are going to make with all these yarns that we have here from our work. For this project I'm just going to make the knot and leave the threads a little bit longer, because everything will be hidden inside this little booty. Otherwise one will have to use the needle for the yarn, otherwise one will have to use the yarn needle to hide these remaining threads. Okay, to continue we are going to make one slip knot. For that we take the ball end of the yarn and wrap around our index finger and form this little cross. With our thumb we secure it and remove the loop from our index finger, and then we pass the ball end of the yarn from back to the front, like so. And with this we make a knot. This is a slip knot, and we insert this in our hook, like so. Then for the round number 18 we have to join together the red part with the white part, and for that we are going to round 22 single crochet. I'm going to show you how to do that. So in this part, in the white part, we have to make 6 single crochet in the first half of the white. For that we are going to introduce the hook here, like so. Okay, the one here is the ball end of the yarn. We just yarn over and come out of this little gap, and then we yarn over and pull through the 2 little loops. Now we have our first single crochet. Then we have to distribute here 5 more. In total we are going to have 6. Okay, then we have 2 here, I'm sorry, here we have the third, we have here the fourth, we have here the sixth, sorry, the fifth, and here in the intersection we make the sixth. Okay, now we have here 6. Now on the red part we are going to make 10 single crochet. So now in the intersection with the white part we start to make 6 that we have to distribute in this white part. We start here, we have here 1, sorry, we start again, here we have 1 single crochet, we make 2, 3, 4, here, 5, and here we complete the 6. Okay, okay, then we are going to close this round using a smaller or a thinner hook. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that. So here with one smaller hook I'm going to close this round like this. Again we introduce the hook here in the space, and then I'm going to close with a slip stitch. So for that I'm just going to take both parts of the first B, as you can see here, then yarn over and pull through. Okay, and with this I have already closed the round 18. We are going to continue making 22 single crochet from the round 18 to the round 33. In my case I'm going to do until the round 30, and I'm going to change color in the round 30. Remember that every time when you start a new round, one has to make one chain like so. We again introduce our stitch marker because we are going to work in rounds, in circle. Okay, so here I have already introduced the stitch marker, and I continue working single crochet. We already know that in this case we introduce the hook and take the two parts of the V like this. We yarn over and come out, then we yarn over and pull through the two loops. We have then the first single crochet, and like this we have to continue making 22 single crochet. This is the round 18. We are going to repeat the same until the round 30. Remember that for closing each round, we remove our stitch marker, then introduce the hook where the stitch marker was before, it was in the chain, then we yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. With this, we close the round 18. We are going to continue in the same way from the round 18 to the round 30. With this, we have already finished the round number 30, and to close this round we are going to make one slip stitch here where our stitch mark was placed before. So for doing that, we introduce the hook here, as you can see. Then we take the white color and pull through the 2 loops, like so. Okay, then we take the ball end of the yarn, we make 1 chain, as we have done before. Here we place our stitch mark, as you can see here. Then, for the moment, it will look very loose, but everything will be fine. So we just continue making 1 single crochet. Here in this case, we insert the hook here. Sorry, like this. We insert the hook here, we yarn over and pull through, we yarn over and pull through the 2 loops, like so. Okay, now when we have already made the single crochet, we are just going to pull the 2 yarns, the red and the white, and you are going to see how everything will be in place. We just continue making 22 single crochet here, as we have done in the previous round. Okay, like so. We just continue here, we yarn over, come out, yarn over and pull through. We have to continue like. To finish this round, the number 30, we are going to make 1 slip stitch. For that, we just remove the stitch mark, then introduce the hook here where the stitch mark was before. We yarn over and pull through the 2. For the next round, again we start with 1 chain, and in this chain we place again the stitch marker, and we continue with 22 single crochet. Here we start with the first one, as you can see here. We are going to continue doing the same, 22 single crochet, and at the end we close with a slip stitch until we are in the round 33. Okay, let me continue and I show you the results. Now I have ready the 22 single crochet of the 33 round. Next step is to close the round. This is going to be our last round, so we close with a single crochet. For this we remove the stitch marker, as you can see here, and in the gap where the stitch marker was, I make 1 single crochet. For that I introduce the hook in the gap, as you see, then yarn over and pull through both loops. At this point our sock is ready, as you can see here, but we are going to make a small hanger, and for that we chain 20 chains. You can change the amount of chains here according to the length of the hanger that you need. To join the hanger, I'm going to make one slip stitch in the next single crochet. So here, where I see this little V, I introduce the hook in both of them, then yarn over and pull through both, as you can see here. Okay, then we cut off our yarn, leaving approximately unos 10 to 15 centimeters because it's more comfortable for working. We just pull our yarn, as you can see here, and this hanger is fixed. The next step is to hide this thread in the white part of our sock. For doing that, I'm going to use this needle for yarn, and here I'm going first to pass the yarn to the back side, and in the back side I'm going to hide this thread. Okay, now I have to work all the time in the back side, and what I'm going to do is simply to hide this thread in some stitches that I was crocheting before. Okay. Okay. And then here I make this small loop as usual, but I introduce the needle in the middle to make a small knot to secure it. Then I just continue once more to hide the last part of the yarn, and from here I just cut off this thread. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we hide these two threads the red and the one. We had these two when we have changed color in this last stage. When we change from red to white, the remaining things are these two threads. What we are going to do is to simply cut it off the red one because we haven't cut it before. Then we pull the two threads, first one and then the other, just to adjust the position of the stitches, and we made a small knot with both of them. I just do that because this is just a decoration, and it's not really necessary to hide the threads as we have done before with the last white thread. Here we have already secured this, and we are going to cut the threads small and just hide in the inner part. If for any reason some person is going to see what's inside, it's very convenient to hide these threads with a needle for yarn. And for the last one, for the red one, we do exactly the same because it just remains in the inner part of our sock. Now your little sock, as you can see here, it's ready. This is a simple project, although it has many rounds and many steps. With this, we have come to the end of the tutorial. I thank you for watching, a big hug, and wish you a Merry Christmas. Bye!